Hey random stranger, I'm so glad you're back for more chapters of Houseki no Kuni the manga, where we continue to plumb the depths of a society that is gripped by war and by countless personal traumas, and also just a very horrendous lack of proper mental health care. And as Nerdy3177 in the comments so eloquently summarized, mental health go bruh. Oh man, if I had to pick the single most disturbing scene from the last few chapters, well, first of all, it would be a very difficult choice because there are several, but I would have to go with when Foss's mind suddenly snaps because they see the barest of similarities between Cairngorm, well, previously Ghost, but now Cairngorm and Antark. And maybe it was the standoffishness on top of the physical similarities. But whatever the trigger was, Foss started calling Cairngorm Antark, like they're in some kind of dissociative trance. And in a callback to when Antark was taken by the Lunarians, Foss like surrounds Cairngorm in the same golden box that they themselves were encased in. And I think that in recreating that exact same scene of their initial trauma of losing their partner, Foss was completely overwhelmed with this absolute desperation to go back in time to fix things and to have been able to use their gold alloy at the time to prevent Antark's kidnapping. But unfortunately, even immortals are subject to the bounds of time, and being faced with the impossibility of changing the past, the gold alloy explodes out of Foss from the inside out and overtakes them, even tries to pull Foss apart and ground them into powder. And initially I had thought, oh man, this is Foss losing control over the alloy due to this absolute emotional breakdown. But after reading a few of the comments, it is actually so much worse than that. So yeah, I'll pull them up. From Showdown 1, the self-destruction of Foss and her subsequent behavior is closer to a failed suicide attempt during a nervous breakdown than the alloy doing something on its own. Since gems can't technically die, it's probably the closest they can come. And this ties in with what Danny12 and his son Alpha reminded me of, which is that the gold alloy seems to act on Foss's deepest, most subconscious desires. So, in the same way that the gold alloy encasing Foss when Antark was taken was really reflecting a deep fear and the need to remain hidden and safe, here the alloy attempting to destroy Foss was Foss's deep desire to self-destruct and find some sort of respite from the constant survivor guilt and feeling of helplessness that has clearly been just simmering beneath the surface this whole entire time. Which is just awful because what Foss really needs is someone to ask them if they're okay and to recognize the immense trauma that they've been through or been holding inside of them for so long, and then to drive them to like a proper therapist. But of course, in Houseki no Kuni, proper therapy is akin to a myth, and actually, the nature of the therapy that is dispensed in Gem Society is really interesting and also very sad. So, after Foss's attempted suicide, Rutile, having put them back together, begs Foss to not ever again get themselves into situations where they might get smashed like that. And then, yes, Sarah Rain actually pointed out in their comment that Rutile goes on to focus on Jade's feelings. So, you know, oh, Jade was so traumatized that they had to break you in half, rather than focusing on the feelings or the circumstances that led to Foss breaking down like that. And later, when Foss is, you know, fully leaning into the oh, happy Foss is back sort of comedy act, Rutile says to Cairngorm, oh, all of your yelling seems to have done the trick because Foss seems to have sorted out all that negative energy and negative feelings. And I was like, Rutile, for all of their intelligence and intellectual sharpness that they possess, when it comes to emotional well being and mental health, they have no sense of any of that. And yeah, sidebar, I did a little bit of digging into Cairngorm, the gem, and I found a pretty interesting fact that fits in really well with that scene. So, Cairngorm is a type of smoky quartz that is found in the mountains of Scotland, which is very cool. And another name for it is morion, from moreau in French, which means black. And in some folk medicine traditions, it was believed that morion cures blood diseases, but also can be used to like dispel negative energies and emotions and help people, magically give up bad habits like excessive drinking and drug abuse. So the line that Rutile throws out about, Foss getting rid of all of their negative feelings has a basis in actual folklore beliefs. And ironically, Rutile, the self-professed doctor, was making a statement that has no basis in medical science. So I do feel like Rutile might have to take down that shiny doctor's shingle of theirs, or at the very least, add a little disclaimer at the bottom that says they have no qualifications in mental health. For their part, Cairngorm also tries to snap Foss out of it, again in a way that doesn't really acknowledge why Foss is in such a state of turmoil. They just tell Foss going bonkers isn't going to bring Antark back. Real brutal. And I guess the equivalent of telling someone, just don't freak out again next time. And similar to Rutile, putting all of the onus of getting better on Foss alone without any external help. And later, Foss repeats this kind of thinking. They tell Cairngorm that they probably have these hallucinations because of their childish desires for people to fix them or fix things for me. It's a real pull yourself up by your bootstraps kind of approach to solving a problem that really needs proper therapy. And it is so frustrating. It reminds me of the situation, if we're going to draw in real life comparisons, the situation still in certain Asian cultures and regions. Not that, I mean, as someone who grew up in Australia but raised simultaneously and in a very Asian culture, we really saw differences in how mental health was treated and thought about. So Australia definitely has, our own problems with mental health treatment, but generally the infrastructure that's in place to treat mental health issues is more developed. Like when back when I worked in Nepal for a while, and this was a few years back, so hopefully things have improved. I'd chat to my local colleagues about mental health and how it was seen there, and they just said it's not really a thing here. The idea that you can check yourself into a mental health clinic or get therapy to sort out issues was almost unheard of. Even when I worked in China, again, just another Asian region, it was just similar in that there was such a stigma attached to seeking help. And even with older generation, Asian aunties and uncles who live overseas in Western countries, something like depression is often met with, oh, why don't you just take the day off and sort yourself out and then get back to it later. So yeah, really feeling for Foss, because now they force themselves to revert back to happy Foss or baby Foss, and unsurprisingly, because of the emotional stuntedness of most, if not all, of the gems, they are buying the act. Those freaky clown figures at carnivals you see with their mouths painted on and this rigid smile? That is exactly what Foss makes me feel right now, which is such a shame because I feel like we did get a brief glimpse of actually genuine old Foss. it was right before their mind broke. So when they were making really snarky digs at Cairngorm and calling them, oh, honorable ghost, and I'll devote my life to being your missing left arm. And I was like, yeah, that more of that, please. That carefree ribbing plus proper therapy. And I think they might actually have a shot at recovery. But alas, we are never going to get that in Houseki no Kuni yet. So yeah, here we are at chapter 41. And just one final thing from Britain's Stanaland, just a sharp insight into the nature of the trauma that our gems are having to deal with, and how strange it is to effectively be immortal, but to still have to deal with the grief of losing someone. Most human societies believe in some sort of afterlife and take comfort in the belief that they'll see their loved ones again someday, but the gems don't really have that. When they lose someone, they live on for hundreds or even thousands of years, and until the Lunarians recently started using gem shards as weapons, they had no real hope of ever seeing them again. And yeah, that made me think that, well, ironically, one, that the Lunarians represented some kind of hope when they stepped up their weapons system, but also two, in another ironic sense, humans both in the past and in the present have strived to achieve immortality, whether it's physically through, alchemizing the philosopher's stone, or now it's like using technological means to somehow put our brains in cold storage, through to living on forever through pieces of art and literature. So while gems are immortal, but the older ones who have seen and personally lived through so much shit, they actually yearn for mortality. And I guess the lesson is like the grass is always greener on the other side, right? Okay, guys, let's jump right into it. So at the end of chapter 40, we had Cairngorm sign up for winter duty alongside Ph-Phos. I think they're actually really leaning into this partnership, which is pretty sweet. Also, if you remember, they did kind of promise Ghost right before they were taken that they would take care of Ph-Phos, so it seems like they're honoring that promise. I know it's just going to end in some other kind of disaster, but they're not there yet. So, okay, chapter 41, scene. Oh, are they painting themselves white, or I thought it was powder, but it looks like paint works as well. Very antarchy. Slav. Rutile yawning. Slav. Don't get your left arm just yet. Oh. Oh no, the powder. Well, I mean, saved a lot of time, I guess. Oh, okay, Rutile just must have tripped and yeah. I'm sorry. I've been just so sleepy lately. My attention's been falling asleep too. How does your attention fall asleep? Gem physiology. As Yuke. I'm here to inform you. It has been determined that hibernation will be postponed for the third time this season. Oh, why? Is it like climate change? They're already so tired, actually. We believe that it will be a little more time before the air settles into a stable winter atmosphere. I see. Are they both sleeping? Sleep talking to each other? Yes, and I believe a shorter winter will lessen the burden on Ph-Phos and Cairngorm, which is good. Yeah. We believe that there will be no snowfall until after. It's kind of piled up over here, though. No kidding. Cairngorm. Oh no, they look exactly like Antark now. Ph-Phos don't. Cairngorm. You almost called me Antark. Yes, I tried to mask it, but no dice. Huh? What's that? Does it mean... Are you mad? It's powder. I love that Ph-Phos assumed that Cairngorm was puffing up in anger. It's funny. Done powdering up? Oh, gems that we haven't really spent too much time with. Peridot, Sphinx. They're so cute. It looks good. It does. You think so, industrial art team? Don't fall asleep. So Cairngorm doesn't really seem like they're having any issues staying up, like staying awake. Sorry, it's just they postponed hibernation again. I can't handle the sleepiness anymore. Where are you on patrol today? We're in the Yellow Forest. The White Hill will be close. Let's go together. The Keen Wetlands. Is it me or is it smoky around here? Hemi. What? It isn't me. That yawny face is so cute. Are you okay, Melon? Yawn. I'm sleepy. It's been 1,000 years since the last time the snow came this late. Yeah, okay, definitely climate change. Oh, I wonder if the Lunarians are behind this weird delay in the winter. I guess you four weren't born yet. Oh, they're all under 1,000 years old. Okay. We kept putting off hibernation then too. Eventually, we had to start letting people sleep, starting with the youngest. We might have to do that this year too. Then I get to sleep first? Lucky me. I thought you were in winter duty. Oh, yeah. What about your insomnia? Are you cured? Again, it's interesting the way that gems think about, the symptoms of what is actually a much deeper problem with depression and guilt and all the mental strain that they have to deal with. And then it's just like, well, are you fixed yet? Are you done? Are you cured? I've returned from the unwell Ph-Phos to the relatively healthy Ph-Phos. God. So now I do get a smidge of adorable sleepiness. Oh, okay. It is so... Every time I see that smile on Phos's face, it's very unnerving. Please, elders, do not humor the gem. When Phos's ego swells, it's not easy to deflate it. But all of you younger gems are just so darling, including you, Cairngorm. Sphene is really cute. Kind of like a softie, I guess, like yellow. What's all that? Nice, asleep. Yeek is nice. Nice. That's Alex, fanatic. And that's yellow. Nice. Takes nothing seriously. The older gems are all the same. So they're all nice, except for Alex, who's just pinned as a fanatic. But for Phos, don't think darling so much as poor thing. Got it. I can still be darling. What is all this cuteness hierarchy? So when they postponed hibernation back then, were you already a teen? I was with Blue Zwazit then. I was paired with Topaz. Wasn't Topaz the very first gem that was used as a weapon? I don't know, I'll have to go back and check. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh no, it's totally fine. Don't worry about us. See how they just kind of just paper over it with smiles and oh, it's okay, just move on, it's part of life. But, snap. It's been a long time since I've said that name. Blues and Topaz. It was the spring after that late hibernation. They were both taken in the same battle. Okay, that is not good foreboding for what's happening now. It's like a once in 1,000 year event, and then they get 2 gems taken away at the same time. Of course, after it happened, it was all I could think about. But it's strange. Gradually, I spent less and less time dwelling on it. I felt like there was something very wrong about that. So I went to ask Sensei, and oh no, Sensei is pretty much the default therapist on this little island of gems. I wonder what Sensei said. Am I heartless? I was there asking the same question, and that was the start of our partnership. What did Sensei say? Oh, Ph-Phos. Well, it is actually very rare to find closure for your emotions and issues. When something does get a complete and final resolution, that's what we call a miracle. It isn't something you can bring about through your own power. It just comes one day, out of the blue. I don't want you to get so twisted that you miss it. So let your emotions run their natural course, whether that be grieving or forgetting. Oh, I don't know what to think about that. I have mixed feelings about what Sensei said right there. On the one hand, the whole, it's okay to grieve and let time slowly simmer away the emotions is, I guess, yeah, it's not wrong. On the other hand, completely doesn't address the issue of you did just lose your closest partner. Also, there's no why are we even fighting this war? Why are we getting taken? Isn't there something that we can do to stop this endless cycle? There's none of that. It's like Sensei just kind of accepts it and does his best, I think, to help the gems keep moving forward, but also does nothing to stop that cycle. So again, that very passive nature of his coming through, even in this. And I just feel like, unlike Ph-Phos, who is very active in wanting to find out the truth and whatever that truth is, and then acting to stop it, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Very mixed feelings. There's some things you just can't forget, though. And while we were talking, we arrived at the Yellow Forest. Thank you for reminding us about blues and topaz. Yeah, thanks for digging up the awful past that we would both rather forget. You all take care. Ooh, I don't know. Why is it the Yellow Forest? They're so mature. Very mature. So, Ph-Phos, who do you want to be like when you grow up? Huh? I could never choose. Maybe Padparaja. Haha, that's your choice. You know what? I feel like that choice is perfect for Ph-Phos. Padpa, the perennial rebel, had they been able to stay awake for more than a couple of seconds at a time, they would have I think they totally would have started the whole truth seeking mission to get to the bottom of what it is that Sensei's trying to hide. Yeah, it makes sense. What about you, Hemi? As of now, it's Peridot. I want to be intellectual and poised. I don't know, I saw that gem late one night, buried in newly made paper and chuckling for no apparent reason. Oh, good point. I could never live up to that paper for perfectionism. Peridot. I mean, take pleasure in the work of your life, right? If nothing else, at least the gems have that. You know, there's a Japanese word that I forget, but it's basically honing that one skill that you chose, honing and honing and honing until it's perfect. God, what is it? Sure, no, don't have it. Snap. Voss. Remember the black spot that the fluff puff thing came from? I heard it was a double. I don't know why, but for some reason, I don't want to hear the rest of this. Okay, then look. Oh no, is it another double? Foss, tell us what to do. What? It's all you, since you have experience with this. That's right, they were with Bort. Oh man, it's so weird how they're all looking to Foss for battle leadership. Okay. And Foss is really not stepping up to the plate. Hemi, you go get Sensei. I'm on it. Melon, you go grab Bort. I think the battle freak was assigned to patrol somewhere around here today. You got it. Look at our little baby Foss barking out orders like it's nothing, like they've done this their whole life. Alright, out come the katanas and the scythe. Cairngorm's scythe is so awesome. It's really low to the ground. What does that mean? Is that how it was last time? I'm not sure. Is it gonna start tearing out the atmosphere again? What? Huh? Whoa, it's like a cabin. So there's an image of a cabin with an open window and a curtain flapping in the wind. Oh, this is so weird. I was not expecting that at all. What's happening? Yeah, my feelings exactly. I don't know, that's a strange scene. I've never seen anything like it. So, is it the same? Not in any way, shape, or form. Ah, what is that? Oh, it's just disappearing? Oh, it disappeared. Pada. Oh, what fell down? Is that a piece of a gem? What is that? Topaz? Oh my goodness, is this like some kind of explosive device? Svein! Ooh, that eye shard. Stimp. Wow, this thing is absolutely shredding them. What is that? It's like... Oh no, lots of those little things coming out from those black spots. This isn't even a double anymore, they've just multiplied exponentially. End of chapter 41. Whoa, that is so... What do they have to do with the cabin scene that was shown right before? Those are pieces of topaz on that little tray thing that's on the table. Oh man, this is so weird. Okay. Chapter 42, Explosion. Damn, the Lunarians have been busy in the R&D department. Seriously. Oh no. They're just dropping bits and pieces of topaz or a gem, a finger here. Clutter. So what do we do? Ah, this is no time to stand around gaping. You're gaping. Even amidst this crazy revelation, they still find a little bit of humor to... You two, start by picking up those pieces. You're surprisingly calm. Sorry for the trouble. Cairngorm, you protect them. I'll get Perido's finger. Wait. Eh? Ph-Phos, what are you doing? You trying to get a closer look? Ugh. Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't think you should get so close to what is obviously going to explode in your face. Okay. Ph-Phos? You'll never break through my alloy membrane. Oh my gosh, Cairngorm. Cairngorm again has to jump in to save Ph-Phos. It's like last time with Ghost. Your courage is too reckless. I'm sorry. Where do those things, they just keep coming out from that black cloud. Also, they look like, they're so weird. They've got like two little eyes attached to a shard. They've got to really get out of there. Where's Sensei? The clouds are too dangerous, but there's nothing else to stand on. They're too high and too fast if we're going to catch them. Okay. Step on this. So Twas creating like a ladder upwards to the clouds. Squish. I don't know. I feel like the shards that are there are just there to entice them and to trap them into trying to chase the clouds. Good. Yeah. Oof. Oh, Peridot. Could you please hurry this up? You three are heavy. Oh my gosh, Ph-Phos. Sorry, Ph-Phos, they're too fast. We can't. Oh no. Blues. Damn it. Ugh. So they kind of stick to their skin or like exterior. This is just straight up nightmarish because so they've got bits of blues and topaz just falling out everywhere down them, repurposed as these explosive little devices made up of their former partners. Oh my god. Perry. What's wrong? It's Peridot. Two in one spot. Why? Shh. What is happening? Huh? Just a... Ew, you're kidding, right? Their plan is to pick us apart through the cracks. Eep. Oh my gosh, it's like they're getting little slivers of themselves just sliced off. What's wrong up there? Fuss, this isn't working. We got to get out of here. I would have thought that that would have been the first choice as soon as I saw that all these little explosive shard things raining down on them and sticking to their skin and cutting off bits of them. It's basically, it's like a homemade nail bomb, you know. Oh my gosh. You're covered in them. Oh my gosh, Foss. What? Give those back. So is Foss past feeling now? The poor gem's lost a lot. Okay, is it just me or do they look like little stick figures with two eyes and they're kind of grabbing onto a shard, a little tiny shard piece each and just running off with them? That's so... It's so bizarre. And they're all returning to the mother cloud. Foss, what do we do? I'm open to ideas. Oh, it makes me really mad that they arranged my hair so beautifully in that bowl. Oh. That's so funny. It doesn't look like they're ready to retreat yet. They won't move as long as we don't get close. Why don't we just sit? Why don't we just wait for Sensei and try not to provoke it? Yeah, I think it's honestly it is just trying to draw them away. Yeah, let's do that. Oh no. It's never ending. That is a beautiful pile of hair though. It can't get any worse. I feel like I've said that a few times throughout reacting to this manga, and it always, without fail, gets worse. Gong. Clench. Hiya. Oh no. Oh, come on, Sensei. What a time to meditate now. Sensei, wake up. Let me handle this, Hemi. Jade. Excuse me. Eh? Wham. Who is he talk? Is he talking to someone? A Linarian? We never have managed to wake him up, have we? Sensei, it's a double. Hurry. It's just absolutely everything is going wrong all at the same time. What are they doing with that plate of hair? That's a big Lunarian. It looks like the one that took... It looks like the one that took Antark. If it's the same, then it will race off like... Or it will start to close up. After it! Oh no, I feel like... I predict Foss is going to be so blinded by the fact that this looks like the one that took Antark that they're going to just be absolutely reckless and throw themselves into an attack mission that is not going to end up well. And with the other gems as well, I think they would place their lives as a lesser priority than finding potentially Antark with that Lunarian. We have no experience with this type. It's dangerous to go after it. But it has pieces of all of us and it's going to take them. Good point. You've lost so many pieces already. Any more anymore, and what I guess what they won't be Phos anymore. They'll still be alive. If we focus on the Lunarians themselves, it's nothing new. Phos, back me up, everybody. Oh my. I think that's a real bad call for us. Okay, so they're encasing themselves in the black cloud. And those are all of the pieces of them. It's letting them go? Whoa. They literally... Did all four of them just get smashed? If you haven't thought this through enough, then I can't help you. Is that Phos thinking about what Cinnabar said to them when they proposed that they exposed Sensei? And Cinnabar is like, you obviously haven't planned beyond, you know, the first step. Oh my gosh, if they lose all three of these gems because of this one bad call, that's it for Phos. Like, they're done. What is that? Is that aiming an arrow of some kind? Oh, look at all those bits of their gem friends just flying everywhere. Oops. Like Cairngorm still has their functionality, I guess. Still wielding the scythe. Wait, they just hook the back of Phos's shirt. Tap. Oh my goodness. They just got... They all of them got impaled by that arrow. That's not even an arrow, it's like a spear. How did it go through all of them? Oh my god, they've become kebab skewers. Oh, I don't. I really don't want to read on. I do, but I don't. Look at that. Oh my. Okay. Cairngorm though, coming in clutch, just saving Phos time after time. That's Fiend's braid. Thought it through enough? Enough. Nothing. Everything I've ever thought has turned out to be wrong. I only understand what's right in front of me. I forget things easily. I'm not smart. After everything I do, everyone ends up on the moon. Oh, is that it? That's Phos falling down. So what Phos is saying is, even if I think things through and try, like put in my effort to plan and to do things, it's always just turned out even worse beyond my own reckoning. So what's the point? Oh, okay, here come the other gems. That's bought with melon. And who's that? Is that Dyer or Yellow? The timing. Oh my goodness. I think they really were going to run off with Sphene, Peridot, and Cairngorm. Board is gonna be like, you fucking idiot. In this case, though, I feel like Board would have a point. It wouldn't just be like vindictive condescension. End of chapter 42. Explosion. Chapter 43, the game board. Oh, I wonder what are the pieces being set for some, like, the next big battle? That is a beautiful and terrifying panel, that first one there with the 3 gems that just arrived attacking from the top. And I think that's Ph-Phos down at the bottom, just absolutely smashed. Like, condescending. Oh. Okay, this is, I don't think Bort is, like, I fully believe in Bort, but they have not been faced with dozens and dozens of these little explosive shard devices. That's just so brutal, the way that they're being taken apart and chipped away at. Are you okay? Oh my goodness. I guess not. Oh, that's Zircon. That's right, because Zircon's with Bort. Zircon. Pling. Now I'm mad. Oh, this is the electric thing. So when they get mad or under pressure, they release electric charge. Nice. It's like Pikachu. When Pikachu gets super mad. Snap. Oh, this is amazing. Bzz. Poof. Oh boy, just going right for the big one. And doing that nice 3 slice slash. Just, oh man. It's so funny. It makes the Linnarian look like a Muppet. Meep. That's our board. Already finished. Wait. This black cloud isn't evaporating. Why? But it's good it didn't drop everyone. Eep. Are more of these things just going to emerge from the clouds? It's a trap. It's a trap. Doff. It went inside. Wait, what went inside? Okay, so the black cloud is once again forming into this nucleus thing. And it's spraying out stuff. And Ph-Phos still impaled on that stake. That might not be good. That might be bad. I think it might get away. I'm gonna go in and get everyone back. Throw me. Oh my goodness. Wait, did Boy get sucked up in as well? What? I have my hips. I can still move a little. Oh my gosh. Is that how it works? Yeah, I think it is. Oh, is this another one of those moments like, oh yeah, I can put myself back together again, even though I'm in a million pieces? I have my hips. Here goes. Oh my gosh, Zircon's gonna throw them up there. Ready, set, buff. Okay, so everyone is somehow congealed and stuck in this black cloud. Good, it's pushing me out. Hmm? Oh, there's that cabin. There. But I can't move any farther. Maybe I can reach it? Oh, it's just like slithering closer and closer to the plate of gems. Gem shards now. Got it. Where did the plate go? Huh? Eek. Just hey. Oh, so what is on the cloud on top of this big ball? Okay, so they're not inside that. Good. What is that basket case doing? What? What? I mean, what are you things anyway? Foss is like talking to those little, I don't know what you call them. They're like little chits with eyes. Okay, did Bot just slice the big cloud? So they kind of just disappear. What are those things? Ha. Yep. Oh no, we're falling. Ah. Okay, so I think Bort sliced at the big cloud and somehow has managed to release everyone that was trapped inside. And that's Foss. Whoosh. Gently. Okay, so they recovered everyone. Proto, Sphene, Bort. You came to help. You asked me to, didn't you? Of course. Which means you forgot. Totally forgot. Yes, I did. I forgot. Is this just of course there's like the memory loss. So even the memory of them telling Watermelon to go and get bored, that's lost as well. Well, you could say it went exactly according to plan, just barely. Luck is important too. We didn't lose anyone, it's not much, but we're getting our friends back. So did they also get the pieces of blues and topaz as well? I'd say it was pretty successful. Well done, Fuss. There's a good little gem. Yeah. We'll start by putting Peridot and Sphene back together. To the medical office! Rutile's calling. See you later. Is that Amethyst helping out with the raid? Wow. Honestly, I honestly did not think that any of them, like any of the four that originally were in the fight, were gonna make it out. But, oh, but, they did good. They did so good. I couldn't even count the mistakes we made, but there were a lot of surprises. We did what we could. Is this Cairngorm trying to comfort Fuss? Oh, hang on. Is that what you thought I'd say? Oh. Do something that reckless again and I'll bust you open right in front of the Lunarians. Yes, I'm terribly sorry. Are they doing a countdown? Oh, Cairngorm has a point though. Like, Man, Foss, that was kind of on you. Everyone is so nice. I like that. Fighting as a team. That's an interesting line. Are they kind of rethinking their whole plan to expose Sensei? Because in doing that, they will create this divide in the gem society that they haven't really had to deal with before. And, you know, the classic, as long as there's an external enemy, everyone just kind of unites. And regardless of the justifiability of carrying out this war and, you know, all of the heavy losses that you sustain, at least having an enemy to focus on makes everyone else just get along and make society work. Oh man. Anyway, getting too real. Fighting as a team. I guess that's, you know, in history there's just so many examples of governments not necessarily creating war out of thin air, but well, sometimes they do. Yeah, just creating reasons that, oh, this other country, you know, we have to fight them. And so it kind of creates a sense of nationalism and pride, and it gets everyone stirred up. And yeah. All right, they're going to go meet Sensei. You did well against this new type. Thank you, Sensei. I can hear the details after Peridot and Sphena have recovered. For now, get some rest. Oh, then, Sensei, at least let me give you this. Do they collect some of those weird little shards? Oh, it's the plate. It came with the new type. These things were moving and they attacked us. It didn't evaporate with the rest of them. This is... He knows what this is. Is this all of them? Huh? Yes, I think so. I don't know exactly how many there were in the battle. That's an odd material. I've never seen it before. It's incredibly light and smooth. Speaking of things I haven't seen before, the scene inside that black cloud. It looked like a small room with a table and a chair and these things and a white cloth. I could go on forever. I'll have it all figured out by the time Peridot and Sphene have recovered. Very good. Thank you for your hard work. Get plenty of rest. Yes, Sensei. Sensei sus! Come on. It kinda... Okay, so it might be a serving platter, or it looks like that thing that Sensei sits on when he meditates. Don't know. And of course, Foss is just looking back to see what Sensei makes of all of this. Is that scene, that panel with Sensei on the table, is that kind of similar to the scene that was inside the black cloud? Never mind, don't think about it. Oh, Foss. Man, I gotta deal with so much doubt about whether or not they really should be thinking about not tearing Sensei down, but at least tearing down his facade of well, everyone knows about the relationship he has with the Linnarians, just no one knows what the nature of that relationship is, and no one wants to dig into it except Foss. And I think Foss is rethinking it too at this stage. It's like a little coin. Clutter. This does bring back memories. Oh, actually, I know what it is. It's a chessboard. Like a checkers board, like kind of like the Asian checkers with the black and white pieces. Ah, this does bring back memories. Yeah, because the way that he's holding the little, I don't know what you call that little piece. That's how people move pieces in Chinese checkers. Cool. Or whatever checkers that is. I thought I put this away somewhere a very long time ago. So that cabin is actually Sensei's old room, I'm guessing. Obviously, this is his board. This is his game board. This game wasn't created with a specific purpose in mind. That's why I was always at it for so long. We never thought about what would happen to the things we created when they reached their end, did we? What? We never thought about what would happen to the things we created when they reached their end. So he's definitely not talking about the game board anymore. That's just like a metaphor for something else that he did in the past with someone else. Who's we? We. And what did they create? Obviously, it. Why does this smack very much of some kind of human experimentation? We do know that on the moon, they kind of have been experimenting on the Admirables. So, like, obviously, they don't know what they did to them exactly, but they turned them into these mindless creatures. So Sensei was part of all that at some point in time, and then maybe he was like, "We've gone too far. I'm out." But he just kind of never told that portion of his past to the gems, obviously, otherwise I don't think they would be so devoted to him. What happens to things when they reach their end? Oh, God. You would disappear for me? That's very kind of you. Oh, so this is kind of like that Shiro scene. Except with Shiro, it kind of felt like the dog wanted to rest or be at peace, whereas this is Sensei requesting these little bits to disappear, and they do. Oh, okay. All these bits of the puzzle kind of just circling around in my head. There's this really fun job called smashing ice floes. You're lying. The role reversals. Oh my goodness, this kind of makes me really sad just thinking about when Antark was teaching them how to do this. How can you tell? When you say fun, it always sounds like a lie. Ironically, that is exactly how it turned out with Cinnabar. You said it was going to be fun. What's with the face? Nothing. It's creepy. Don't say that. We need to be friends. Winter is coming. Shake. Stop that. Oh. Oh, they were all put back together. Thank you, Rutile. Oh. That's Ph-Phos. I think Ph-Phos genuinely happy that, those two are still here. That is genuinely happy Ph-Phos, not the creepy smiley Ph-Phos that we've been seeing for most of this time. Chapter 44, Shortcut. Alright, last chapter of this volume. What crazy things are going to be in store for us. There. Rutile, just restocking up on Ph-Phos's powder. I hear you're back to regular patrol duty today. The glue is still setting on both of you, so be careful. Right. Especially you, Cairngorm. That fight the other day undid all of the progress your left arm was making with the bond on that smoky quartz. Don't put too much stress on it. Okay, I know. Oh, more on inclusions. Inclusions are fundamentally hard to please and averse to change. Even if the new material has a similar makeup, it will often take some time before they accept it. Except for Ph-Phos, right? Because Ph-Phos just takes to it like a duck in water. Oh yeah. The happy-go-lucky, constantly aiming for new heights and conclusions in this freak are the exception of all exceptions. They don't make any sense, so do not use them for reference. Rutile just being a little bit huffy about how Ph-Phos doesn't fit into their regular medical categories, and is probably the only case where she or will they admitted defeat and was like, don't come to me, I can't solve your problems, and I hate that I can't. And Cairngorm has never taken well to reattachments to begin with, so be careful. Oh, this pond is completely frozen. Oh well. Where are we assigned today? The shore of Nascency. That's far. To go back to the shore of Nascency. Okay, time for a shortcut. We'll cross the frozen pond with our beautiful footwork, won't we, Cairngorm? Oh no. Cook, snap. I'm sinking. So many callbacks to the first winter episode, well, chapter, when this is where they lost their arms. Yeah. Or was it their legs? No, I think it was their arms. And then Antark blamed themselves for it. Get out of there. Rutile will have a fit if too much of your powder comes off. Thanks. Tug. Snap. Rutile, you beep. How could you beep, beep, you beep? Oh man. I love that little panel with Rutile yelling at the both of them. Shortcuts are never a good idea. Slow and steady is the best way to go. I do feel like that also applies to, you know, how when Zircon was going through their crisis and they were like, maybe I should, you know, cut bits off myself to get better quicker. And Ph-Phos was like, but wow, ice is slipperier than I thought. We haven't done anything to get ready for winter. Is that going to be a problem? Oh, hey, there they are. Speak of the devil. Take care. Thanks. Everyone's being so sweet to each other. I just wonder how long it's going to last. You've explained the basic concepts behind breaking ice floes and clearing snow. I'm sure we'll manage. It'll be a cinch for you, Cairngorm. Yo! The pair of floaty diamonds. Yellow, you could break someone. Fast, let's play cards tonight. It's been ages. Okay, you won't beat me. Oh, it's too much happy, wholesome family goodness going on right now. Is this all just kind of to make Ph-Phos think, oh, maybe I shouldn't stir the pot? You know, things are pretty good the way that they are fighting together, playing cards together, almost dying and being taken away to the moon together. Maybe the price of war is worth it if you get to have this sort of camaraderie. Russell. It's fab. Going through all the gems and just showing how happy they all are with each other. To celebrate your full recovery, we gave crowns to Peridot and Speen too. Wow, Ph-Phos. I can't tell if they're genuinely happy or not yet. I do think they are split. Like, they're feeling very conflicted, that they do want to be happy, and it is awesome that everyone is getting along so well. But yeah, I think they've just repressed that part of themselves that is super sus on Sensei. How did you find so many flowers at this time of year? We have a secret spot. Oops. What was that? Is that when it happened? What's up? Why the scary face? I guess you're always like that. Shut up. Morning dew and flowers, gather them together. La la. Okay, is that for singing, humming? You know, the ice flows actually talk. Huh? They've got really nasty personalities, but one time I was pressed and they were worried about me. Are you okay? Was it too much? Well, was it? I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, that's interesting. Have we known that the ice flows actually comforted Ph-Phos before? They have nasty personalities. Well, mostly they're just dangerous, so the only thing for them is to bust them up quick. First, you poke holes in them with your heel, then put the center of gravity behind you, and that's a little one. I love that they still got the flower wreaths around their heads. It's a small one, but I don't know. I feel like the more dangerous things are coming in smaller and smaller packages these days. If you put all your weight on your heel, then the sensation of sliding on the ice is a lot like stepping on a lunarian. We can practice on that one. Let me just show you a quick example. Wait. I foresee nothing but doom in your quick example. I don't want you going up there and repeating what happened at the pond. You have no faith in me. Well, Ph-Phos, you haven't really given Cairngorm much reason to believe that you're going to be sane about it when faced with a lunarian. Just watch. I'll do better than you. Yeah. Oh, I thought they were going to do it with their flower wreath on. That is good. How did that... What? How did their arm break off? Did they just slash down at the wrong angle? Oh no, it's because their arm still hasn't fully attached to the inclusions yet. God. Oops. Cairngorm. Whoa. Fast retreat. Your hand, forget it. Oh my goodness, they're gonna get impaled again. And then Cairngorm is gonna have to save them, and then Cairngorm is gonna join Ghost on the moon. I'm calling it right now. No, their head. They got it. They got Foss's head. You stupid idiot. Oh, it's sucked inside that ball. Swish. Seriously. What is that? Elder, look. Oh, I did. It completely bypassed me that Yellow and Dia are now partnering up together, which I love, by the way. I do feel like those two, they're just so much fun on, any patrol that they do, except for when this kind of stuff happens. They just shot like 4 of those giant spear things at Cairngorm. Why do you insist on doing the same thing again and again and again and again? The definition of insanity. That is one thing about you that I just can't stand. So Cairngorm was willing to part with the hand, I guess, you know, to them kind of a decent price to pay for being able to escape still intact relatively. But Ph-Phos is like going after the smaller shards, going after a hand. They just can't stand the thought of the Lunarians taking away any part of any of the gens. Is that cipher even gonna work? Squeak. Heavy. Grr. Oh, what is that? they've they've lost their head. Wait, let me just. Okay, so that was Foss's head nestled inside the cloud, and then they dropped the rest of the body into the sea. How can you? How do they recover from if their head gets removed? I guess it's sort of like any other part of them, but is it? Because that's where the seat of consciousness is it not? I guess not. Oh my gosh, I don't know. So we've decided to postpone hibernation again. God, they're all so tired. It's not just from the physical lack of light in winter, it's just this constant attacking with new, innovative, weird instruments. And search under the ice floes tomorrow. I hope we can find some part of that head, even a few slivers. I think we're wasting our time. I saw the Lunarians get a tight grip on it. I guess we'll need a new head. Wait, who was it whose head was left behind? Okay, hang on. I suppose so. I'd hoped that filling the space with alloy would get it to form into a head, like with the arms, but I tried and it wouldn't even attach. I mean, that's a good idea, Rutile. Like, I don't know. Ph-Phos would have had like a golden head. I said this when we were dealing with Phos's legs, but there's not a big crop of material similar to Phosphorite. We'll have to start looking and put the pieces together whenever we find them. It will take years, but that may be the only way to build a new head. Years. I mean, God knows how long Rutile has been trying with Padpa, finding the right material that will attach to them. Long ago, one of us went to the moon leaving only a head behind. But that's... hardness of 5 is relatively close. It works. Rutile is in shock. Rutile's not easily shocked. It would be a shortcut. Oh man. Never walk across the lake, never take shortcuts. Yeah, man, just... Wait. I want to protect Ph-Phos, okay? Oh, I want you to protect Ph-Phos, okay? That's Ghost. I can't believe that gem is making us give up our most prized possession. I'm sorry. So this is a piece that Ghost collected. Oh, it was Lavis. Oh, this is... Whoa. Oh, that's doing my head in a little bit. So Ph-Phos is sort of the reason that Ghost got taken, and now they have to give Lapis's head to Ph-Phos. Sensei. Oh my god. Oh, this is. It just feels so wrong. And how is that even gonna work? Oh, and for Cairngorm, who obviously loved Lapis very much, this has to be such a mind bend. Clunk. Phosphophyllite needs a new head. We're going to use Lapis Lazuli. With your permission. Is this. Was that the last of Ph-Phos? I mean, as in Phos's head that we're gonna see for a real long time? And this is. Oh my god. I think I need some time to absorb this new development. It's so. Man, it really tests your ideas of continuity and is this character really the same character without upwards of 80% of the body almost replaced with other things, and now this is a completely new gem's head, which is traditionally seen as, I guess, I mean, it's your heart, but really it's your brain, right? Like it's your head, it's where you make all your decisions, it's the source of all the rest of the functionalities of the body. But yeah, I know gems physiologically are different, but still, damn. Alright, that is the end of chapter 44. That's a wild, wild ride, guys. Okay, back to some sanity. Land of the Lucky Sightings. Ph-Phos, that's Hugh. May I discuss tomorrow's plans with you? You bet. Oh, that's right. Wait a second. You bet. Why is you confused? Your hair. I think I saw it move. Oh, didn't you know? What? I have no control over it. It has to do with air pressure, I think. I've been taking down the statistics on the change for ages, but I just can't pin down what's causing it. Uh-huh. Do you know about this, Jade? Of course. It's rare to see it moving. Rare indeed. It's even more rare to see it stop in the middle. Something good's going to happen today. Yay. What is Yeek's hair? Like the weather gauge or something? It's such a small interaction, but I love it. Translation notes. Unwell cute. Yeah. Foss is probably unaware that this is a reference to a real fashion trend in Japan. Oh, known as yummy kawaii. Kawaii means cute, yep, and yummy means ill or unhealthy, often in a mental context. Now that Foss's emotional issues have been partially resolved, the gem is back to somewhat normal health, physically and mentally. The fashion style tends to include eye patches, bandages, syringes, and pastel colors. Okay. Interesting. Huh. I'll have to look up some actual in real life reference photos for that. That's kind of fascinating. Only in Japan, I feel like something like that would become a whole trend. Cairngorm smoky quartz. As Rutile explains, when gems are missing large pieces, those limbs can be replaced with materials similar to the gem's mineral makeup. In the case of Cairngorm, a smoky quartz would be especially effective because Cairngorm is itself the gemstone quality variety of smoky quartz. Incidentally, the name Cairngorm comes from the mountains in Scotland where the gem can be found. There we go. And that is it. End of volume 6. Oh, what is this illustration? Is that cinnabar with Ph-Phos? Hey guys, I don't even know where to start. I do want to get some initial thoughts out first, even though I know that there are quite a few things that will need to percolate in my mind over the next few days, which I will leave for the next video. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what eventuates in the comments section because what happened these few chapters probably stepped up the level of bizarreness. I guess, yeah, I guess we could go in chronological order. So the first battle with Cairngorm, Peridot, and Sphene all looking to General Ph-Phos for their orders on how to deal with, again, a completely new form of Lunarian cloud. But before that, we got this introspective, quiet moment where Peridot and Sphene are remembering their old partners, Blue Zwazit and Topaz, and they retell the story of them visiting Sensei for advice on if it was weird for them to think less and less about their partners over time, which I think is natural. Like, there's only so much grieving and dwelling on what happened in the past that one can do. Eventually, time heals a little bit, and you have to learn how to live with what happened and accept it. So, what Sensei said about how it's rare to completely recover from these emotional hurts and how you should just let your emotions run their natural course, I actually agree with that. It's just when placed in the context, well, the overall context of why it is that the Lunarians keep attacking them and why aren't they doing more to stop it, as opposed to just passively accepting that losing gems over time and losing friends and partners is just going to be a fact of life forever and ever. That is what makes everything that Sensei says sus, particularly considering that he has an obvious deep connection to the Lunarians and knew them and potentially even worked with them in the past. But yeah, we will get to that scene later. So the battle starts, and the first thing that they see is that room with the table and the what turns out to be Sensei's old game board on top, and the cloud, or like the multiple clouds, really. They start dropping these things that explode. I think they were packed with like shard bits because as soon as they came into contact with the gems, parts of them were also blown away or chipped at. And I think, I don't know if this is correct, but I think the strategy was to chip away at the gems and get them to crack all over so that by the time that they bring out the big guns, like that huge spear looking thing that the Lunarians used to basically impale all of them, that they would just shatter into pieces. And Ph-Phos does what is worryingly becoming a very Ph-Phos-like thing to do, which is to jump right at the Lunarian without really thinking about what it is that they're going to do next. So, you know, calling back to, of course, Cinnabar's admonition of them, it's like, well, you don't even have a plan, like a 10-step plan. So, of course, I'm not going to join you in your crazy quest to expose Sensei. So basically, Ph-Phos is just jumping in blind with no real strategy, just being triggered by the sight of a sliver of a gem being taken. So the first time I think when they jumped into the fray, it was because Peridot's finger had landed on one of the Lunarian platters. Also, later on, Phos thinks that this is the Lunarian that could have taken Antark, and so they go beyond jumping into the fray themselves to ordering the other gems to attack. And again, when they jump in headfirst, they expect everyone else to back them up. And I'm like, no, Phos, this is just insanity. And you're really just putting yourself and now other gems in extreme danger. But I know that really, I think it's just their absolute distrust in their ability to really make a difference that is driving them to such extreme acts of desperation. I think Phos believes that even when they do plan and they do think ahead, it doesn't make a difference. So I don't know, this kind of self-defeat is not going to lead anywhere great. Of course, Sensei is asleep during this critical battle, and who else to save the day but Bort? That final panel of chapter 42 with Bort's hair, of course, like, you know, asserting dominance over the entire panel, and Melon and Zircon coming in clutch to save the day was maybe my favorite moment of these last few chapters. And in what is true character development, later when they recover everyone's shards and Phos is looking up at Bort with these shiny eyes and is like, oh, you came. Bort is just like, yeah, because you asked me to, remember? And of course, Bort doesn't remember. I mean, Phos doesn't remember, but I do love that for Bort, how they are so matter of fact that, of course, they would immediately come to help and back them up. Which leads to Phos's dilemma of, it's nice being a team, or like, you know, being a family. Do I really want to wreck things as they are by continuing on with my obsession to reveal Sensei's deep, potentially nefarious secrets? Like, do I really want to be that person? And that is such a tough ethical dilemma, and one that is so real and potent in real life as well, for people like whistleblowers, basically in every human institution that's been set up ever. Like, how much corruption or morally questionable activities can be tolerated, or can you turn a blind eye to, as long as it helps maintain stability or to keep a united front against a common enemy? And then that question in turn leads to Sensei, who, again, in the privacy of his room, says some pretty dodge stuff about creating things that then reach their end, and how we, whoever we includes, never thought about the consequences of doing that. And really, the key or dominant idea that formed in my head when I read that was, holy crap, does that mean Sensei was involved in some form of human experimentation on the moon in partnership with the Lunarians? Because things that have an end suggests mortals, and I'm still trying to figure out how that could tie in with the supposed origins of the gems Admirabilis and the Lunarians, who are apparently descended from humanity. So yeah, I don't know. I'm still workshopping that. I feel like I'm missing some pieces, potentially pieces that have been mentioned like way back in previous chapters. Yeah, so I don't know, I guess, yeah, let me think about that for a while. And then finally in chapter 44, we are warned to never take shortcuts. And of course, by the end of that chapter, a shortcut is taken in the form of replacing Phos's head with Lapis Lazuli's head. And I can't believe that I just uttered that sentence, because that is so insane. But that is what happened. To rewind a bit, again, I think we can attribute the loss of Phos's head to their impulsiveness and desperation to never lose any part of any gem to the Lunarians. So even when Cairngorm was yelling at them to retreat, which brought the Battle Freaks wise words of advice that a good fighter always knows when to back off, Phos just barges right ahead and ends up being decapitated. So at this point, like, I'm really not certain if we have Phos anymore, like the real Phos. I know their torso is the original phosphophylite, and that yes, their inclusions have taken really well to the new materials that have been attached to them over time, like the agate and the gold alloy. But replacing their entire head with another gems somehow feels like on a whole other level. And it didn't strike me immediately when I saw it was lapis lazuli, because I was so shocked that they were even going to go ahead with this head swap. But yes, lapis is one of the 7 treasures of the Buddhist treasure tower. So Phos is unwittingly one step closer to turning into a full-blown treasure tower. And I don't know how enlightened they are right now, because they're still obviously fighting or debating within themselves about Sensei and what to do about him. But the physical changes that are being forced onto Phos, or well, they themselves are indirectly causing, in that they're being so reckless in battle, provides, I think, a really disturbing foreshadowing of what is to come next. So the next reading will be starting volume 7, and I guess we'll see how this whole head transplant thing will work, because I have no idea. I do look forward to getting into what will probably be some really interesting conversations in the comments below. And until next time, guys, don't lose your heads, be good, and I will see you all really soon.